What's up, YouTube? So I finally got around to seeing the Warcraft movie. However, it won't be out in America, I think, until June the 10th. So I was very lucky to be able to see it in the UK, which is a very, very growing trend for massive, massive films. I believe we got X-Men, we got Civil War, and we got, I believe, Batman vs Superman early. But I think Batman vs Superman was just a few days early, or at least just 24 hours. So, now we've heard all sorts of things from the big-time critics about this movie, saying how it's not for people who have not played the game, or that it is far too high fantasy. And also, weirdly, there's been criticisms that it takes itself too seriously, which is very, very stupid. So, I am here to tell you that this is complete crap, and that as a whole it is a great fantasy movie for fans of Lord of the Rings or even Game of Thrones. Now, I will give you full disclosure here. I did play World of Warcraft for a couple of months at the launch of the game. My guild overtook me and I just did not carry on playing it because, well, I was like 14 when it came out, so I couldn't afford the subscription. But I have got into it recently due to the hype of the film, and I just wanted to check it out. So I played the trial of the game, and I bought the subscription for just a month, which gets you the game. And if you do want to check this out, you can get the starter edition. I think it's €5 or £5. I don't know how many dollars it is. It's probably like $10 or something. But anyway, however, I know next to nothing about the lore of the games. Only tidbits I've picked up from my friends who are massive, massive fans, and also from Hearthstone. So I am a big Blizzard fan. I do play Heroes of the Storm. I love Overwatch. It is just absolutely fantastic. And I really, really enjoy playing Hearthstone, which is a card game based on the World of Warcraft and Warcraft franchise. So go check that out. It's completely free, that one, to play as well. So as a newbie to the franchise, I completely loved the story. And there are a few complaints from people saying that they felt lost, and they felt that if you did not know the lore of the games, then you would not know what the hell was going on in the film. Now, I call bullshit on that. It's very easy to pick up. I really did not feel lost throughout the whole film. And I think it's about 2 hours, 20 minutes, I think, the running time. So it's a long time to feel lost if you don't know what's going on, but I absolutely loved it. So the story of the film is pretty simple. So it starts off with a race who are known as orcs. So, you know, if you've seen Lord of the Rings, you know they're pretty nasty bastards. So basically their homeworld is completely dying, and well, it may or may not be the cause of a weird demon sorcerer orc who uses magic, which is known as fel magic in the game and the film. But for those of you who don't know all about the game or the film at all, it's pretty much dark magic, it's evil magic, which is pretty much used to kill someone, and then that's what powers it, pretty much. So their world's dying, so they build a massive fuck-off portal, which brings them to the world of the humans, the dwarves, and the elves. So this is like another dimension kind of thing. So you're getting that kind of stuff in, and then that's the general story. So they've appeared, and there's conflict. It's a pretty standard fare with the two parties battling it out on the battlefield. And also you've got mages up, so there's the main battle, and then you've got some mages battling it out who, as always, it's the magic part of the films which are the most important part, weirdly, because I guess that shows a higher level of learning as opposed to someone who can just wield a sword. Hey, who knows? So Duncan Jones has managed to pull off the impossible. A very, very good video game movie, for once, which I expect is due to his knowledge of the game. I think he's pretty much played it from the start, played it a lot. You could tell that he's had a complete hand in it. The sets are stunning, and this could be due to his skill as a director as well. So check out Moon and Source Code, two of his other films, which are absolutely fantastic. Moon is one of the greatest sci-fi films, I think, of all time, or definitely the best of the modern era. So Dominic Cooper is fantastic as the Human King, And the dude who plays Ragnar in Vikings, I can't remember his name, I'm very sorry, very unprofessional. He is playing pretty much the main fighter in the film. So he is just really, really good in the role. I wasn't sure how he'd do because I think Vikings is more of a kind of a one-dimensional role, kind of. But this one, he proves his acting chops greatly on the film stage. So what I liked about this was that the two sides are completely explained in depth. So the orcs aren't necessarily all bad. They've just been led down the wrong path, which is really, really cool that they explain the whole thing, etc. So both sides have a complete purpose in the film. It's not just them killing mindless enemies or whatever. So the CGI is an issue here. It can be very hit and miss with backgrounds such as when they go into a forest, it just feels completely fake. I'm not sure if that's what they're going for, but if that is, it's weird because the orcs, who are nearly over 7 foot tall, they're huge. They dwarf any actor in the film. They look completely lifelike, which is a weird thing to say, but they do. So the humour in the film and character each had a purpose. There are bits which are very funny. It just felt very naturally added in. There was a couple of jokes which were fan service as well. And, well, yeah, I really did like it. I mean, there was an immense amount of fan service. I went with a group of people who have loved it and played it since day one. And they loved it as well. And so I was worried that I may not enjoy it as much because obviously I'm not invested in it. But absolute top job from start to finish. So, well, if the film was not to play up to its high fantasy kind of role and not have a serious tone, then it just wouldn't really work at all. So, to all you out there, if you enjoyed The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, or any other fantasy genre film, then definitely go and check it out, and because I think you're going to love it, to be honest. And, well, it may be a critical absolute panning, but I think it's going to do very well in the eyes of the public. So, I hope you enjoyed that video. Drop a like if you're going to be checking it out, and subscribe for more similar content. Goodbye.